Ye all, Namaste. I welcome you to a new session of marketing management. For today's session, we have a topic of factors affecting selection of channels of distribution. So that's the topic for the day. Now, moving ahead, let us understand the flow of presentation. Flow of presentation includes 6 major points, which are introduction, factors related to manufacturers, factors related to product, factors related to market, factors related to middlemen, and at the end we have factors related to the environment. This is a lengthy topic but an interesting one. So let us quickly begin with the topic for the day. Dear students, let us begin with the introduction of today's topic. Here we need to understand that a marketer must consider many factors while establishing a distribution system. Some factors are directly related to the marketing distribution channels or else marketing decisions, while others are affected by relationships that exist with many of the members of the distribution channel. Moving further, let us quickly understand the factors affecting the selection of channels of distribution can be divided into 5 different parts. Those are explained as below. 5 different points which reflects the channel of distribution includes factors related to the manufacturers. Second, factors related to the product. The next one is factors related to the market. The fourth one is factors related to the middleman. And the last one here is factors that are related to the environment. Moving further, the next is the factors related to manufacturers. When we talk about the factors related to manufacturer and their impact on the selection of channels of distribution, we have further 5 more points to be understood, which explains us the role, responsibility and limitations of the manufacturers, wherein the first one is financial resources. When we talk about financial resources, it directly reflects on the manufacturer's capacity to either generate funds or else to have an expenditure power with regards to maybe sales, or else to find a link or else a chain of distributors, those who can either promote or else can sell the goods and services for them. It is believed that a financially stable manufacturer would definitely try to create a link wherein less number of middlemen are required and a direct approach to the consumer is done by the manufacturer himself. In certain cases wherein the financial condition may not support, the manufacturer will have to look into a reasonable and a feasible source of middlemen, those who can help him to either promote or else sell his products. Moving on further, the next point we need to understand here is marketing experience and managerial abilities. When we talk about this quality of manufacturer, let's understand it in both the ways. If a manufacturer is skilled enough, if the person has market experience along with a managerial ability, the concept is definitely going to be taken care by him and completely by himself only. If there is a scarcity of experience or else lack of experience for the individual or the firm, they definitely would require the distribution channel which can help to basically connect these manufacturers with the probable or else the actual buyers of their goods and services. Now, let's quickly move to the next one. Next one is the reputation or else the goodwill of the company. When we talk about the manufacturer as a company or else as a firm, they definitely have a relationship wherein a goodwill or else a reputation is created within the market. Because of this reputation and goodwill, the product what they prepare, what they manufacture is easily gonna be acceptable in the market. And in the same way, because of a same reputation or else a goodwill which might not be very effective, will create a situation where manufacturers will have to depend on the middlemen to do the rest of the job. The manufacturers will have to rely on the middlemen and their reputation in the market, which helps the manufacturer's product to be sold or else to be promoted within the market. Moving further, we have size of the enterprise. Indeed, for a manufacturer, the total size or else the level of the manufacturing unit or else the establishment plays an important role. Based on the size of the establishment, the investments which are put behind and the returns which can be obtained. Even when we talk about a manufacturing unit, the size also makes a difference in terms of the machinery which has been planted and production which can be obtained out of those machineries. So, a huge impact is always shown by the establishment and its size over the market. Henceforth, the size of the market, size of the enterprise basically creates a situation wherein a manufacturer may lead or may not lead the marketing conditions wherein the goods and the services supplied in the market can be kept control by an individual who manufactures the same. Moving ahead to the last one, that is keeping a control or else also known as a desire to control the market. When a desire of controlling a market is considered to be a factor that influences or that directly relates to the manufacturer, it means that a concept of having an expectation to rule the market by a manufacturer leads to a lot of activities generated by him. He may promote his product in a very positive manner. He may find distribution channel which can help him to either promote or else to sell or provide goods and services to his consumers at a right time on a right situation. And comparatively, when we talk about rival companies or manufacturers, the manufacturer would always like to keep a control over the market segmentation and would like his product to rule and take over the market. Now, once we are done with the factors related to the manufacturers, let us move to the next one, which is factors related to the product. When we talk about the factors related to the product, we have 5 sub points to be understood here, wherein the first one is perishability of the product. The next one is ordered products. The third one is price per unit. The next to it is weight. And the last one under this is technical nature of the product. When we talk about all these points, we need to understand them one by one with regards to their importance. The first one is perishability of the product. This means that it completely depends on the quality and the type of the product which has been manufactured by the producer. Based on the life shell of the product, they need to decide what channel of distribution needs to be selected. Ideally speaking, if a product is with a low or else a less amount of time available to it, which is known as a lesser life cycle, then it is considered to be a perishable one. And because of being perishable, that needs to be sold or else made available to the clients directly with minimum barriers within the consumer and the manufacturer. On the other hand, wherein the life shell is more, the product may have a long channel of distribution, and through that channel itself, from the manufacturer till the consumer, the product has to pass through. Moving to the next one is ordered product. When we talk about this, it is ideally considered as the ordered product which are specifically made to order are directly provided to the individuals, those who have given the orders for such product with certain specifications. As compared to the same, if a standard product is made, then the distribution method or else the channel of distribution needs to be lengthier and should be a regular one, so that it can be presented and then sold in the market through a right channel. The third one is price per unit. When we talk about price per unit, that is about the pricing of any of the good or else the material as an individual unit. This may vary from one another on the basis of its quality or else the type of product what it is all about. The next one is weight. Weight of the product also has an impact on the channel of distribution. It is believed that heavier the product, smaller the chain, and lighter the product, longer would be the chain of distribution for the same product. Moving to the last one here is the technical nature of products. When we talk about technical nature, we need to understand that there are a lot of technical goods available within the market which are sold to customers with an expectation of future services to be provided. Because of the same reason, a smaller chain of distribution is also preferred by the manufacturers so that they can ensure quality services for the customers in near future. After understanding the factors related to the product, now it's time for us to move ahead and understand the next one, that is factors related to the market. When we talk about these factors, we have 5 subpoints that can explain us the entire concept. The first one to understand is number of consumers. The second one is regional concentration. The third one is order size. Next to that is nature of the market. And finally, the last one is policy of competitors. When we talk about the number of consumers, it directly reflects on how the product is to be distributed within the market. When the number of consumers are more, then the producer or else the manufacturer himself can make an arrangement to provide these goods or services directly to the consumers. And when the number of consumers are less, that needs to be taken care by the channel of distributions so that those few numbers can be directly contacted and provided with the goods and services. Moving to the next one is regional concentration. When we talk about regional concentration, it reflects that the entire quantity or the chunk of consumers may be a part of a specific region. Then that region needs to be focused or concentrated by the manufacturer. On the other hand, if The region may not be limited and the consumers are spread out within the entire country, so that the situation arises where the distribution channel needs to be an extended one, an elaborated one, so that consumers in different parts of the nation can be served or else can be provided with goods and services as per their expectations. The next one is order size. The quantity which has been expected by the consumer, that needs to be ordered to the manufacturers or else to the middlemen if required. And if a order is in a bulk, that is a quantity order, the manufacturer himself can make an arrangement to provide these kind of orders directly to the buyers or the consumers. But if the order is a smaller one and a lot of people expect that on different destinations, then a channel of distribution has an important role to play. Hence, this needs to be considered an important one. Moving on to the fourth one here is the nature of market. When we talk about nature of market, we need to understand the kind of expected acceptance and the expectations what middlemen or else the consumers do have. There are a lot of situations wherein a common platform is never created between the manufacturers and the buyers. The channel has to be decided and followed in a way wherein middleman has their own importance. On the other hand, at times there are markets wherein a direct contact which can be generated between the producer and the consumer creates a smoother supply chain. This mainly happens in industrial goods, and on the other side, when you have a consumer market, there it's difficult to create a chain wherein directly the manufacturer can provide services or goods to the consumers. Hence, the nature of market plays an important role as well. Finally, moving to the fifth point over here, that is policies of the competitors. When we talk about the policies made by the competitors, directly or indirectly, individuals or else the firms performing a same kind of a business or else producing a same kind of a product will by default have to follow almost the same style or the pattern of distribution which others do follow. If they do not do so, there will be a situation where their operations or else their supply and demand chain may get broken. Hence, the policy of the competitors play a major role in terms of factors related to the market. Moving further, we have the next one to understand, which is factors related to the middleman. Middleman is a person who also is known as a mediator or else a link between the buyer and the seller. Here, to understand the concept, we need to go through the following points in detail. The first one to understand here is availability of a desired middleman. The second one is sales possibilities. The third one is cost consideration. The next one is marketing policies and strategies. The last one here is services provided by the middleman. Now, let us understand these points in detail, one after the other one. The first one is availability of a desired middleman. When we talk about a desired middleman, it means that a suitable person who can take care of distribution being done from one place to another, from the manufacturer to the consumer. At times, if the company or else the manufacturer do not find a suitable or else a desired manufacturer, it is preferred that the distribution should be done by the manufacturer himself with the shortest of the distribution channel. But If a desired manufacturer finds a suitable middleman, then the middleman is to be used so that a proper channel can be maintained and a link can be created between manufacturer and the consumer. Moving further, the next one, that is sales possibilities. When we talk about sales possibilities, we look into the product, we look into their types, we look into the possibilities of certain things being sold or expected in the market. At times, if it is acceptable in the market through a direct chain, then the distribution of such goods and services should be done by the manufacturer himself. But in another situation wherein the sales possibilities are difficult and a clear idea should be available within the person who takes care of sales here, then a middleman is preferred who is much more knowledgeable and skilled about the market and feasibility of a product to be sold within it. Moving on to the next one, we have cost considerations. A lot of time, establishments or enterprises, those who are producers or manufacturers, may prefer to choose the middleman on the basis of the cost factor which may incurs and affect the production of the goods. At times, if the budget is available with the enterprise to pay off the middleman, they definitely will select a suitable or else a desired middleman to finish up the job for them. But in certain situation wherein a economical or else a financial crisis is experienced by the establishment, the cost consideration will directly or indirectly force the manufacturer to remove the middleman and sell the products directly to the consumers. Moving further, let us understand the marketing policies and strategies. At times, the establishments do follow certain strategies or marketing policies wherein they prefer to be in a direct contact with their consumers so that they can have a relation of goodwill and can even serve them in a better way. So, within certain situations, they may not prefer any of the middlemen to perform certain tasks for them. But at the same time, there are few establishments, those who always will prefer to have middlemen so that the quality, the knowledge, and the relationship what a middleman has within himself, which associates with the market, should definitely be utilized in a positive manner by the manufacturing establishments. Moving to the next one is about the service provided by the middleman. A lot of time looking into the kind of the product or the good which is to be sold in the market, the manufacturer has to decide whether to take the services from the middleman or else to provide services of their own. Many a times, based on certain goods and products, they prefer to have middlemen, but majority of time, lot of establishments do prefer the services to be given directly so that a relation between the manufacturer and the consumer will develop and will retain for a longer period of time. So that is all about the factors which are related to the middlemen. Moving further, the last one for the day is the environmental factors. When we talk about the environmental factors, it's not about the natural environment, but it is ideally about the social environment wherein a good or else a product is to be sold. In case of lot of situations, a middleman is mandatorily required or else it is always preferred to have a longer chain of distribution. When we look into certain classes of society, it is variable in terms of selecting the method of distribution. When we talk about slums to be focused, the distribution method should be very lengthy and should be considered in terms of all the legal considerations. The channel of distribution within these kind of areas do have a legal concern which needs to be taken care by the middlemen. Moving further, we need to even understand that away from these slum areas, the environmental factors would directly or indirectly affect the sales of a product in terms of its popularity and acceptance in the market. A lot of time, there are situations available wherein the channel of distribution which are used by the enterprises. At times, the channel of distribution selected by the enterprise must meet the social expectation. So that is all for the day. The topic for the day was factors affecting the selection of channels of distribution. And at the end of this, I believe that you definitely would have realized, though it was a lengthy topic, but one of the easiest one that we have been dealing with. So now I would expect that you all have understood the concept very well. You'll stay home, you'll take care of yourself, and yes, do not forget that if you have any questions or doubts, do share on the given email ID. Thank you so much. Namaste.